Michael Kaiser's playing style. I've heard that you'd like to be like Michael Kaiser. You've come to the right place. First, we shall learn how to dribble like Michael Kaiser. Then we shall have a little discussion about metavision and his predator eye. Then we'll learn the Kaiser Impact Magnus. If I'm feeling generous, I will break my back to teach you the Kaiser Impact Beinschuss. Let's begin. Kaiser has some simple but clinical dribbling. He also has some really interesting movements, which could be deadly if used in real life. He takes on Rico and nutmegs him. To do this, when my opponent is approaching me from this angle, I will first push the ball towards the outside. As my opponent gets closer to me, I'll first do a quick feint to the side, like that. To do this feint, I will first use my attack leg, the leg that I'm pushing the ball with, to push my body to the side. So with this foot, I'll push my body to the side. When my support leg gets close to the ball, I will extend my leg forward and stop in front. As I do that, I will drop my shoulder to the side, like that. Push. If done properly, your opponent should believe that you're going to exit in this direction. As the defender opens his legs to try and stop me in this direction, I will quickly change pace and direction and I will cut towards my outside and through his legs, leaving him embarrassed, sad, and questioning his life choices. To do this cut through the legs, you will first shift your entire weight onto your support leg. Since you already did a feint, your weight should be resting on the support leg. So as soon as you do the feint, lift your attack leg up, then use this leg to push your body to the side, like that. As you push your body to the side, you will push the ball to the side as well. Angle your foot inwards like this, bend your ankle like this, so that your toes face the ball. After the nutmeg, you go around the player and then you cut with your other foot. To get this right, you have to get very close to the defender. Kaiser then defeats Nico with an insta-kill elastico. A usual elastico you sort of do in front, like that. But Kaiser, what he does is he gets very close to his opponent, he uses his hand to push the player to the back, and then he does the elastico towards the side, a push and then a very wide elastico, pretty much guaranteeing a defeat. To do this elastico, first use your support leg and step about a foot away from the ball and in line with the ball. Angle your attack leg inwards and up so that your toes face the side of the ball. Then push the ball to the side using your toes, and then you use your support leg to leap to the side, like that. Then you extend your lower leg out so that your foot goes past the ball. Then you drop your foot down and stop its momentum. Push, stop. Push your opponent away as you do the elastico. Oh. Push. Guaranteeing his destruction, Kaiser goes up against Chris Prince, where he does a simple feint, outstep cut, and instep cut. To execute this, you first do a feint and outstep cut like I showed you earlier, but this time make sure that the opponent is sort of in front of you and not going in towards your tackle, because we're not trying to nutmeg him this time, we're just trying to get away. Then after you do the outstep cut, quickly bring your support leg in front and next to the ball so that you can cut inwards. To cut inwards, first quickly angle your foot inwards like that, like this, so that you snap the ball to the side. Shift your weight onto your attack foot so that you can burst off. But this doesn't shake off Chris Prince because he recovers and presses Kaiser again. Then to protect the ball, Kaiser moves the ball to the back. To do this, first put weight on the ball with your attack foot so that you can stand on the ball. Hop forward with your support leg like that. At the same time, pull your attack leg back like this, all together like that. Let the ball rest on the edge of your foot, like this. Then Kaiser composes himself so that he can face Chris Prince once again. Then Kaiser pulls off a devastating nutmeg. If my opponent is in front of me like this, I will first angle my body to the side so that I'm facing him at an angle. I first place my attack foot on the ball like this and I put a bit of pressure on the ball. I quickly roll my foot off the ball and stamp on the ground. When you do this skill at this angle, this should cause your opponent to open his leg over there. Then you simply push it through. Keep your support foot angled outwards like this so that by the time the ball comes towards your support foot, you're ready to push the ball through. The quick Kaiser then does some really interesting off-the-ball movements. So first he feints, he runs this way, does another feint this way, turns, and then keeps running that way. I know I'm stretching a bit over here, but imagine he did this with a ball. And this dribble would be super effective. First move in a forward direction. You then put your weight on your attack foot and you lunge your body towards the side to feint to the side, like that. Then you cut the ball outwards quickly like that. And as the second opponent comes towards you, you use your support leg to do a feint to the side. Hopefully the defender goes for the tackle over there. Then you turn your body, you place your sole on the ball and put a bit of weight on it. Roll the ball back, leaving the defender on this side, and you run away in this direction. So feint, shield, pull. By the way, you spectacular footballer, if you'd like to master dribbling, check out my dribbling course at www.ballerskills.com. Now let's talk about Kaiser's metavision and his predator eye. Since Kaiser is the main striker, we're going to talk about metavision from the perspective of a striker. His primary job is to get into dangerous positions. The most dangerous position for a striker to be in is zone 17 and sort of at a straight angle. Statistically, most goals are scored in this zone. From the zone, a simple placement shot with moderate power should score the goal. But since Kaiser has an amazing shot, zone 14 is a dangerous position for him as well. A striker would get into these positions either by dribbling or by receiving a pass by linking up with other players. Sayed, what is metavision? Metavision is the ability to predict the play and do this prediction before anybody else. So this allows you to get into those positions before anybody else. Now this is a bit of an exaggeration. In reality, you won't be able to consciously calculate where the ball will go because that would take too much time, and while you're fitting puzzle pieces, the game would pass you by. Instead, in reality, you would go with the flow of the game, and then you would spot weaknesses and opportunities almost subconsciously, and then almost instinctively run into those positions to exploit them. That's how vision works. But in order to make this brilliant millisecond decision which tears apart a defense, you need to consciously get some quality inputs. And these inputs are: where am I currently? Where the ball is currently? Where my opposition is currently? Where my teammates are currently? At what speed is the game moving at currently? And which directions are the players moving? To get these inputs, you have to scan the field constantly. The way you position your body will help you scan the field easier. For instance, if you're somewhere by the sideline, you don't really need to know what's happening behind you. So if you angle your body like that, this way you can scan the entire field easily. Wingers mostly find themselves in this situation. When you're up front, you might need to have your back facing the goal. So this way you can read the play when it's happening. Then when the ball is moving forward, you'll have to switch your stance where you're facing in front, but you can look behind your shoulder as well. I can see where the play is happening, and I can also see what the defenders are doing in front of me. This will help you spot any openings that may occur, quickly run in that direction, and then you can easily exploit that position. When you're scanning, you don't actually need to focus on every single individual. You need to learn how to use your peripheral vision. As humans, we actually have an almost 180-degree field of view. Even though I'm focused on you right now, I can still see my hand here in the blur. This blur over here is your peripheral vision. Now, if I'm focused in this direction and there's an opponent coming towards me in this direction, I don't actually need to look at him directly. I can see him in the blur over here. I should be able to tell the color of his shirt, what direction and what pace is he moving at. This information in my periphery is enough for me to make a decision. I'll either dribble him or I will pass. To practice scanning and how to use your peripheral vision, first, put a whole bunch of objects around you and then try and identify them without looking at them directly. Bottle, bag, Sasuke, Luffy. Once you do a proper scan, you'll get a temporary mental map of what's happening in the game. But this mental map will only last for a few seconds, so you have to constantly keep scanning to update this mental map. I honestly think that Isagi has better metavision, and this is because Kaiser doesn't need his metavision too much because he scores goals from really difficult places. So he doesn't need his metavision to get into the perfect position. The only time he actually uses metavision is when he wants to sabotage Isagi. Now Kaiser's predator eye is the opposite of metavision. When he uses his predator eye, he basically blocks out his periphery and focuses directly on where he wants to score. When you're about to shoot, you first look up to see your target and keep that position in your mind's eye. Just before swinging, you would look down so that you know where you're striking the ball. The Kaiser Impact has a super fast swing, but more than that, it actually has a very massive follow-through. It's pretty much the opposite of a Kunigami shot. This is a Kunigami shot, this is a Kaiser shot. First take one big step back and a small step to the side. Put your weight on your attack foot, the leg that you're going to shoot with, and use your leg to push your body in front like that. And step as close to the ball as possible with your support leg. As you step, lift your lower leg up slightly like that. This step creates a nice gap for you to do the swing. The faster you swing your leg, the more force you'll get behind your shot. A common mistake that most people make is they rely too much on their upper leg and they don't use their lower leg enough. Watch this. I can't move my upper leg as quick as I can move my lower leg. Since I don't lift my lower leg up that high, it's quicker for me to make the swing. Quick swing, contact, and a big follow through. The best place to make contact on your foot is this part above your big toe bone area just next to the laces. So you have to make contact with the ball right at the center. It's kind of hard to make contact on this part of your foot. So what I do, I angle my foot down and slightly to the side. So I make contact like this. So what I do is that I lean my body towards the side before I make contact. Because the more I lean to the side, the easier it is for my foot to make contact with the ball at the center. Then after making contact with the ball, you will have a massive follow through. Now your follow through is just an extension of your swing. So instead of stopping your swing over here, you will stop your swing up here. It has to be one fluid motion. Swing, contact, and stop there. At the point of contact, you want your leg to be as straight as possible. If you swing your leg fast enough and you connect the ball properly, you won't even feel the weight of the ball when you make that shot. First practice while the ball is stationary, then roll the ball forward and practice while the ball is moving. For the Kaiser Impact Magnus, The first few steps are completely the same, but this time when we make contact with the ball, we will first angle our foot inwards like this. We're going to make contact with the ball around the side of our foot, in the spot between your pinky bone and your laces. Take one big step back and one small step to the side. Leap forward and step next to the ball. Lift your lower leg up as you do, contact. But this time your follow through won't go straight. Instead your follow through will go towards the inside. If you'd like to get yourself some quality Blue Lock inspired jerseys, please check out www.2oddlers.com. The Kaiser Impact Beinschuss. I'm sorry guys, I have a slight pain in my lower back, so I don't want to destroy my football content creating career just as it started. So not today. But if you really want to see the Beinschuss, please comment Beinschuss. If we get over 100 comments saying Beinschuss, I'll dedicate an entire video behind that. That's all for today. I'll see you in our next training session. Goodbye.